So I've been using storyjumper now, and just have figured out how to add background scenes for the individual pages, as well as how to create a book cover. And now I'm just looking at adding some text. So here I can see there's different options. So you can do anything from a scroll to speaking bubbles, as well as just a description of what's going on then in the scene. There aren't too many options here, whereas if you go into the different scenes and the different characters, there's the options of adding additional types. It doesn't seem to be there for the text. So limited options to choose from. So I will choose just a description text and then start my first scene. So one feature that makes this program pretty kid-friendly in my opinion is this magical undo button. You've got to love the undo button, because right now I just accidentally erased my text, and I tried just doing my function undo on the computer and it didn't work. And so it wasn't until I discovered down below this magical undo button, undo, and there's my text again. So that is something that's making it very, very kid friendly. I also noticed here where it says check spelling, I can actually unclick that. So hopefully that will get rid of these red marks for me because I'm choosing to do it in French. But this is also very kid friendly so that they can actually be prompted when they do have spelling mistakes. So that is something within the text that makes it very kid friendly. So along with the publishing factors again within this program, so one of the things that I'm finding a little frustrating is not being able to change the size of the text itself. You can change the font type, which will ultimately change the size, but if you wanted the same font and to make it smaller, you'd have to actually make the window smaller, and that is not exactly what you want to do. The other thing is within the actual speaking bubble, there's no way to really move it. I mean, you can move it and making it smaller, but I know in other programs that I've used, it's nice to be able to drag the tail and just to make it expanded or contracted so that you can, move it more in position of the character's mouth. And this doesn't seem to be functioning within this program. So this can be, I think it just requires a lot of patience, and truthfully, I think students would be a lot more patient with this program than I. So having explored a little bit longer in storyjumper, I also notice now that if I select the big box text, what can happen now is it'll give us a lot more options. So I can change the font as well as the size of the font, and as well as centering it, justifying it, that kind of thing. So it's just a matter of choosing the right text box. So other things that I'm just curious about within this program, essentially there's very little that you can do with the actual characters. So for instance, things that I can do, I can, for example, very easily make this character a lot bigger or smaller. I can, if I choose, I can flip the character to face the opposite direction. I can also duplicate this character really easily. Also, you can duplicate entire scenes just by going copy page. However, there isn't really much you can do with the characters in addition to that. So in this scene, the characters go from, basically saying that they're really, really tired to wanting to take a break from their adventure. So it would be neat to be able to have multiple sets of this character expressing different emotions, or for example different positions, such that it can really be communicated within the story. That's one of the other limitations that I'm seeing within this program. So another function I just discovered through storyjumper is that you can use your own pictures, and what you do is you go into get photos. You can either upload photos directly from your computer, or you can get photos from your Flickr account. So there's some options there. I've uploaded a few, and I'm going to just click on this one here. Oops, I'm just going to make sure I'm on the right page. Yes, I am. and I'm going to extend that. I'm going to import it. You can either import it as a prop or a scene. I'm going to choose a scene, and then I'm just going to go crop, and then I'm going to go done, and that's going to import the image right into the book and is going to actually set it as the background. So I think this is a really neat feature, and I think it kind of broadens the functionality of this web tool. I think that then with students they can really personalize their stories. One application I see is that you could create a type of a book, like a yearbook, where students kind of chronicle their adventures of the year through pictures that you've taken, and then what they can do is they can now personalize their own yearbook. So that would be kind of fun. And you can also use it in many different ways for your own personal life as well, just taking, pictures from your trips and making little kind of stories from it. It's very, very fun to use. So I'd say all in all, I really do like this program, and I can see using it particularly with primary students, but also to some extent the intermediate as well. Some of the things that I think that perhaps maybe this tool lacks that makes it fully multimedia would be that it doesn't incorporate any music of any sort. You can't seem to, from my explorations, I haven't been able to find that you could import any kind of podcasting or anything to actually make it fully multimedia. I'm wondering if perhaps those tools are limited to the edition that you pay for, and maybe they're just not featured in the free version of it. However, that would be something that would be a little bit more interesting. So there is no way to embed a storyjumper product onto website or blog, so I'm just going to show my story this way. My story is called Grégoire et Frédéric visitent la plage. You just click read, and then it will flip through the pages. I really like how it makes the flipping sound. If you go here, it'll actually even show you turning the page, which is pretty neat. Love that. So I can see you using this particularly with primary, but also intermediate students. I think that it's very interactive and a fun way for them to publish their work, and just the creative way for them to express themselves.